Hi, everybody. I had a really cool experience last weekend. Parents of a young fan of mine, the young fan was turning 11, and their birthday party was going to be through Zoom, and they asked if I would sing some of the youngsters' favorite songs. And of course, I said yes. Like, how cool is that? So, it was wonderful. I got to be sort of part of a Zoom birthday party for a little bit. They had ushered him off into a different room while they set up the surprise, and then when they said, okay, go, they had me set up on the little projected screen. And he came in and his eyes got really big, like, what is going on? And of course I said, hi, happy birthday. Your parents asked me to come. And so we all sat in the living room. I was there virtually, but the rest of the family was there. His grandma was there, his parents, his little brother. They all bubbled together. So, they were all together. And we all sang his favorite songs off of my Imaginary Children's album. And it was lovely. And they live in a rural area, and they have a house goat, which the house goat is a little, kid, a little baby billy goat, and it roams around the house. And as the little brother liked to point out to me, it poops everywhere, which, to a small boy is hilarious. The older brother was like, don't say that. But anyways, it was lovely. And this was the second time that I have performed in the presence of goats, because our very first trip to Austin, Texas, Ben and I performed at a farm museum, and there were goats in the barn with us. So there you go. But it was lovely, and it was just such a great reminder that, that whatever connection you have, even if it's through a camera, it makes so much difference. He was his mom emailed me right after and said, oh my gosh, he's still bouncing around the room. So it was a really lovely experience and totally made my week. So one of his requests was a total a tongue twister off of my Imagineer album. It is a public service announcement. It's a very important lesson that everybody needs to learn, regardless of their age. And here we go. If it's smaller than your elbow, don't put it in your nose. If you found it in the sink, don't put it in your nose. If it's glass or brass or chewing gum or gushes from a hose, remember what I told you, don't put it in your nose. I used to play with crayons as I sat upon the lawn. I put 'em up my nose till all of them were gone. Proud of my experiment, I was so very pleased when a perfect little rainbow dribbled out with every sneeze. If it's smaller than your elbow, don't put it in your nose. If you found it in the sink, don't put it in your nose. If it's got glass or brass or chewing gum or gushes from a hose, remember what I told you, don't put it in your nose. Well, I never used a bank, kept quarters up my nose. I jingled when I nodded, had change for drying clothes. I had so many plans to take my loot and make a profit, but no one would accept my very gooey first deposit. If it's smaller than your elbow, don't put it in your nose. Found it in the sink, don't put it in your nose. If it's glass or brass or chewing gum or gushes from a hose, remember what I told you, don't put it in your nose. Well, I woke up with a weasel in my nose the other night. I'm pretty sure he wasn't there when Mom turned out the light. He's really very comfy, wouldn't give him up for cash, 'cause I've always kind of wanted a luxurious mustache. If it's smaller than your elbow, don't put it in your nose. If you found it in the sink, don't put it in your nose. Glass or brass or chewing gum or gushes from a hose, remember what I told you, don't put it in your nose. Everybody, everybody, this isn't you. You have to do this part. Is it smaller than your elbow? Don't put it in your nose. Did you find it in the sink? Don't put it in your nose. Glass or brass or chewing gum or gushes from a hose, remember what I told you, don't put it in your nose. Ta-da! So there you go. The secret plan is, and I'll tell you because you guys are my supporters, secret plan is the March online concert that we're going to do is going to be a March break concert for the kids. So I suspect I will manage to get the whole band in on some children's stuff from our album. Anyways, keep that under your hat. I haven't announced it yet. Have a great day. I will catch up with you guys later. Bye. Don't put it in your nose.